Okay, well, one more thought before we finish. I'll say one more thing. One more thought I want to share. We a lot of times forget when we talk about the Rebbe that the Rebbe was a servant of the Eibishter. The Rebbe served Hashem. He was a Yid like any other Jew. But he did it ad mitzvah nafshe. A tzaddik, a Rebbe, a Nasi, B'Yisrael, a Neshama, Klalos. Every breath is serving Hashem. Right? The expression that's used is a Merkava. He's so subservient to Hashem that he carries the Eibush into the world. And in addition to all of the direction and inspiration that the Rebbe gave us, there is Pasha, the example of the Rebbe, the example of the Rebbe himself. To imitate the Rebbe is not possible. You know, somebody once, the boys used to imitate the Rebbe's shoes. They would wear shoes like the Rebbe and socks like the Rebbe and suspenders like the Rebbe. So the Rebbe said, instead of imitating the shoes, they should imitate the eating and the sleeping of my husband. They should eat like he eats and sleep like he sleeps, and then they can imitate his shoes. So one of the things by the Rebbe that was so incredible was, and is, the Rebbe had so much responsibility. And he put his work first. By the Rebbe, the first thing was a Rebbe, was people. The Rebbe actually wrote, the Rebbe once had to write a note describing his job. And he wrote, the first thing is being a dugma chaya for other people to follow, a living example for other people to follow. Then comes my own personal avoidance. The Rebbe actually wrote that. But the Rebbe spent many, many hours every day, Pashat, learning Torah. With all the letters that he answered and all of the activities that he was involved with in sort of establishing Chabad and having all kinds of Yidden who were not Chabad, use every opportunity and every tool to bring Yiddishkeit to another person, the Rebbe somehow found enough menuchas hanefesh when he to sit down and learn. I heard there's some pretty reliable sources that the Rebbe used to have yechidus. The Rebbe used to have yechidus all night. He would sit and talk to people. And when the Rebbe had yechidus, his wife, the Rebbetzin, our Rebbetzin, would wait for the Rebbe. She wouldn't sleep. When the Rebbe came home, she was waiting for him with a smile, never complained. It was 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning. She once told one of her friends, whenever my husband comes home, I am awake. And his food is hot and fresh. One of the Rebbe's miracles. So what happened was, there was a night of Yechidus. The Rebbe had a whole night with people. And at some point during the night, there was a meeting of a lot of people. So they brought in a tape recorder. And when the meeting ended, the tape recorder stayed on. So you can hear what's happening after everybody left the room. It was 5 o'clock in the morning. The Rebbe sat for 10 hours talking to people. The Rebbe wouldn't drink water in the middle. He wouldn't stop for a second. And the Rebbe sat down to learn. And somebody told me that there's a tape where you can hear the Rebbe learn from Kol. You can hear the Rebbe learning out loud. And the phone rings. And you only hear half of the conversation. But it's obvious from the conversation that he's talking to his wife. She called him up. She wants to know why he's not coming home. As this Lent, a whole night talked to people. He had to stand and learn. And I didn't hear this tape, but the person who heard the tape told me, you hear the Rebbe sort of apologizing to his wife. I'm coming home soon. The Rebbe got up his letter. They wanted to learn something. The Asmada, the Rebbe's diligence in Torah had absolutely no limits. Now to learn Torah like the Rebbe learned Torah, you have to be the Rebbe. But you should know this. Rabbi, I want you to hear this vart. I want you to hear this point. When people study, you ask, why are you studying? Why are you studying mathematics? Because I want to become an accountant. I want to become a mathematician. I want to become a surveyor, a physicist, an actuary. There's all kinds of reasons why you study. But no one is going to study mathematics because they enjoy mathematics, unless they're one of those funny people in the world, of which there are not many. Yeah? If a person studies anything, why are you studying it? So why are you learning Torah? And the answer to that question is, I'm learning Torah because Torah connects me to Hashem. That's the reason. You don't learn Torah to become a rabbi and to pass a shaila and to make a speech. You learn Torah because Torah is Kehem Chayenu V'Erech HaMeir Hashem's Torah. And Torah by the Rebbe was so valuable. The Rebbe once said in public, if you want to give me a gift, start with Torah. You want to give me a gift, don't buy me a diamond ring, it means nothing to me. You want to give me a gift, learn Torah. And one of the very important, there was a rich man in California, true story. A rich man in California, he used to give the Rebbe a lot of money for tzedakah. He was one of those rich people who would borrow money to give tzedakah. He was Mesa Nefesh for tzedakah. Better Weiss. All of us shalom, we knew him. So he once came to the Rebbe, and the Rebbe said to him, I would like to ask you a favor. So he tells the Rebbe, how much? How much money? The Rebbe says, I want you to bring me 1,000 pages of Gemara. My gift is, I don't want the dollars. I want you to bring me, by the time you come here next time, 1,000 pages of Gemara. This is a very important part of being a Yid, being a Chassid, being a Lubavitcher, is the idea of learning Torah. You don't learn Torah for a reason. You learn Torah because Torah is precious. It's holy. In the Siddur it says, Kehem Chayenu V'Erach Yameinu V'Hem Nehegeh Yemam B'Layla. Torah is our life. And we're busy with it all day and all night. Not everybody can learn Torah all the time. But when you have a free moment and you have nothing to do, what do? If nothing else to do, you learn Torah. That's what a Jew is. So I want to finish the Fabrengen with this thought. That to learn like the Rebbe learned, you have to be the Rebbe. But to learn the lesson, that you don't need a reason to learn Torah, other than the fact that Torah is precious, is a lesson we must all learn. We must have Kriyas Hitim LeTorah. We have to have times that we learn every day. And you should know that for a man especially, for everybody, but a man especially, it'll change who you are. You must learn. And it'll change your home. And it'll change your children. It'll change everything. It's a very important lesson you can learn from the Rebbe, that when you have free time, you don't talk to Vadim B'Teilim, you don't talk about sport or whatever it is. You sit down and you learn Torah.
No Corinthians.
Okay, l'chaim v'lebracha. L'chaim v'lebracha.